Hello and welcome to the Futures Lab. So this week we are going to be making green attacks. This is actually a scene from the flowy boss battle, and in a second you're going to see that these swords turn into these kind of band-aids. And you'll notice that when they touch the player they disappear and they heal the player. Now we're going to make some costumes for our attacks, and bear in mind that most of the healing attacks have costumes that are like good, not like spears or bones. It's food or nice words or thumbs up or like heart symbols. These are all kind of ways of letting the player of the game know that these projectiles, these green projectiles, are actually good and helpful and will heal you. So in your project, head to your attack sprite. Let's go to costumes and let's create some additional costumes for our attacks. Now, as before, we're going to copy one of these, rename bone B into bone G, because this is going to be the green version of the bone attack. I'm actually going to change this bone into a kind of first aid symbol, something like this. Alright, I'm going to make this about the same size as the bone attack. And I'm just going to make a light green box to go behind this. And let's send that to the back. That looks pretty good. I think if the player sees that, they'll know it will heal them. Okay, I'm going to do something similar with the long attack. Make sure we rename this. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now for the star, I'm going to have a more circular shape to this. So I'm going to keep the background of this star just so I can make something about the same size. And then let's make sure that we delete the original star sprite. Don't need that anymore. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now with the spear, I'm going to do something a bit differently. I'm going to actually replace this with a word. Healing. And of course I need to put this in my favorite font, the pixel font. Increase the outline of the healing sprite. I'm just going to delete the original spear here and make sure that we rename this. So now that we've drawn all our costumes, let's head to the code. So first thing we need to do is look for our define heart collision code. I'm going to zoom in on this and let's copy if color equals gray. Let's change gray into G for green. And then let's get rid of this stop this script. Let's put this right here. So now inside here, we need something that will heal the player, and we also need something that will delete the clone. Well, deleting the clone's nice and easy, so let's do that first. So let's get out delete this clone, and then let's get out a change variable. Now at this point, we need to figure out how much healing are each of these green attacks going to do. Now I'm just going to reuse my power variable, and I'm just deciding that if a spear deals 2 damage, then a healing version of a spear heals 2 damage. But if you want, you could make a new variable, maybe call it healing power and use that here. Then just make sure that you set healing power under each of your different attacks. Otherwise, if you're going to do it the same way I'm doing it, just put power here. Now, we could just change player current HP, but let's do this in a slightly more interesting way. Let's actually create a new variable, and it's going to be a type of healing, and then we add to that variable, and then that variable slowly ticks down so that our healing happens similar to our item healing, 1 hit point at a time. This will be especially noticeable if you do any healing in increments of like 10 or something. You won't just see your hit points jump up by 10 hit points all at once. It'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it'll have a much more satisfying look to it. So let's create a new variable. It needs to be for all sprites, and I'm going to call this green attack heal. Then press OK. Now we already have a variable called heal, and we use that in our item healing. And so that it's a bit easier for me to tell these apart, I'm actually going to rename the heal variable as item heal, so that I know the 2 different types of healing and the 2 variables, and I can tell them apart. So now we just change green attack heal by power, And now we need to create some code that will slowly convert our green attack heal into player current hit points. So let's go to our health bar sprite and put the code in there. Now, once we're here, we need to go to events and get out when green flag clicked. Under that, we need another forever loop. And then inside there, we're going to put in if green attack heal more than 0. And then inside here, we're going to take away 1 from green attack heal and add 1 to player current hit points. So we're going to change green attack heal by -1 and change player current hit points by 1. Now we've just got to make sure that we don't overheal the player and go above the maximum hit points. So we need to put an if around this change player current HP. And we need to make sure that the player current HP is less than the max HP. And as long as that's true, we can do the healing. So now to make sure that we have that cool slow ticking up effect, we're going to put in a wait 0.1 seconds right at the top of the code right here. Now, one other thing that we can do is we have this cool animation where our health bar gets slightly larger when it's healing. And currently that only happens if our item heal is more than 1. So all we need to do is add in an or green attack heal more than 0. So now if either of these variables is more than 0, we will get that cool effect where the HP bar gets slightly bigger to indicate that you're healing. Okay, so as always, let's give our code a test. Let's find our if mode equals evade loop. Here it is. And let's make some new attacks to see how well this healing works. Okay, so first thing I've done is set the player current HP to 1, so we've got a really good idea of what it looks like to heal a lot of hit points all at once. And these are the attacks I've chosen, but by all means, try out the healing with the other attacks. Let me know how you go with maybe a healing wave or whatever else you want to try. Okay, let's see what this looks like, shall we? Oh, this looks great. Oh, and this is so satisfying. Now watch closely this variable here, the green attack heal, and how it interacts with our hit points here. So when we go into a lot of green projectiles, we can increase our green attack healing by quite a lot. And as you can see, it slowly ticks down in this really satisfying way into our hit points. And we've got that cool grow effect on our hit point bar. Whenever we're healing, we can see that it kind of grows a little bit just to give us another visual indicator. Okay, I'm really happy with this and everything's working. So there we go, we've got our green attacks working, which means it's the end of the episode. Subscribe and ring the bell to see when the next episode is ready for you. Let me know in the comments what you would like me to do next, or if you need any help. And aside from that, stay awesome, be cool to each other, and take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time, ninjas.